Hello, hello. Half-term Pilates with weights. So you want to grab some weights, get some small ones, get some big ones, get whatever you want. Just a whole combo. So I'm going to have a couple of 4s, a couple of 2.5s, and I'm going to start with them. So grab some small weights, come to the back of your mat. And then sit with your feet under your hips. Always start with a shoulder roll. Set your body in the right place. So soften the knees, tuck your tailbone. We inhale up to the ears. We exhale, squeeze back. Do that 3 or 4 times. One more time. Good. So we're going to reach our left arm up towards the ceiling. And extend the arm. We're going to gently drop our right arm down to a little side bend and straight back up to the center. So keeping those knees soft, inhale, side bend, exhale, up. If you don't like having your arm up here, drop it down here and then just work without the arm up. The arm up has a little bit more load and we're just warming up the shoulder joint, isolating. And if you want, you begin to do a little bit of a reach over and back. Reach over and back. Now my palm on that left arm is facing forward towards you. And my right palm is facing in towards my thighs. 4. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Last one. And release the arm down. Take a little shoulder roll. Always reset. And move that. And we're going to reach the right arm up and we exhale over to the side. Inhale, center. So at the moment, my arm is staying pretty much above my shoulder as I reach down the thigh and back up. Again, soft knees, abs on. Remember, you can just have your arm here and work to the side. Just sliding down the thigh. And make your next one a bit more of a reach. So we reach over, back up to the middle. One more, reach. No straining in that shoulder. Listen to your body. 3, 2, one more big reach. And 1, slide the arm back down. Roll the shoulders back. Good. We're going to gently inhale, sink the hips down. So the weights are staying down by your thighs. And then we exhale, bring it back up. So just a light weight, dropping down, exhaling straight back up. So make sure when you're squatting, you're sitting your bottom back, your knees aren't protruding forward, or your weight is in your heels. And we're going to add on a side raise. So we drop down, we lift up, arms come up to shoulders, we sink back down as we lower our arms. Raise the arms as we exhale, inhale, drop. So we do a lateral raise. You always want to kind of slightly pull the arms forward. They're not, so you can kind of see them outside the sides of your eyes as you bring them up. Itchy nose. 4 more. So I've only got 2.5s, just be very wary. You're not going too heavy on this. Last 2, sink it down into that squat. 1 more, sink it down. Raise those arms up and then continue the arm raises. We lift, we lower. 7, 6. So I'm making like a really wide V with my arms. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And 1. Drop the weights down. Always reset those shoulders. This time we're going to sink down to a squat again. Arms can stay down by your thighs. We're going to hold that squat. Or if you want more, raise the arms up and pump the hips. 10. So you just might want to be here if your arms are feeling it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Squeeze your tummy muscles and then release it back up. Take your left leg forward into a lunge position. Take a long deep breath. So make sure your hips square up, your back leg is fully extended, and your weight is going forward into your left heel. I'm on the ball of my foot at the back. And we simply drop down to a lunge. So exhale, we inhale back up again. 90-90 on those knees if you can. Remember, we're just warming up everything at the moment. And we're going to add in a little bicep curl. So these are a little bit light, but that's fine. Just wake those muscles up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. Hold that lunge. Hold your bicep curl. If you want to challenge, take your upper arms forward and hold a bicep curl like that. So I'm kind of like that with my arms forward. Sink down a little bit lower, press through the hips. 8, 7, 6, stay beautifully upright, squeeze your abs in tight. Last 3, 2, and extend up. Lower your weights down. Take that back foot till it's flat on the ground. So step it in a little bit. Take a long deep breath in. Keep your beautiful straight spine. Bend your knee forward at the front and start to lean forward. So I'm just going to show you on side view. Ooh, if I can, come forward. Bring your weights in front of your kneecaps. And we're going to squeeze back behind. Reverse flies. So you're making a wide position in those arms. Again, I've got light weights. I'm sticking with these weights for now. Keep going. 9. See if you can lean a little bit further forward. See if you can bend that knee a little bit more. 5, 4, 3. Keep strong in that leg. 2, one more. And 1. Take your weight to the floor, bend that front knee, and push your leg as straight as it will go into a hamstring stretch. Lowering your head and chest down. So both feet are flat on the ground. I'm trying to straighten my front leg, but my back leg is dead straight. And then relax through the shoulders. Step your back leg in to join your front leg. Take your weights forward a little bit more. So I've taken just over a foot forward and straighten the legs. Just bow down. Takes it a little bit more into the side of the back with that reach of the arms. You might want to take it forward a little bit more. See how your body feels. And then grab hold of the weight, spin them back, scoot the belly in, roll it up, reset those shoulders, and we're going to take our legs wide. So I'm actually going to stay on the length of my mat because I can get my legs wider here. Plie squat. So our toes are turned out to the corners of the mat. I'm in a very wide stance. You can change your position as much as you need to. I'm going to bring those same weights in front of me. And I'm going to sink down, back as beautifully upright as possible. Open those knees wide. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring those weights up to shoulder level and sink them back down. Inhale, exhale. If you feel your shoulders have the mobility and strength, you can swing them up with control above the head, drop them back down with control. It's like a kettlebell swing with an extension, but it's completely controlled Pilates style. Slow movements, which is why you don't need really heavy weights. Dropping down and lifting up. You're breathing under control. Inhale. Exhale. We've still got 6 more. See if we can sink the hips down lower. Open those knees. Get those knees in line with your middle toe. 4 more. And up for 3. Up for 2. 1 more. Big reach. And then lower your weights down. Parallel your feet. So slide your heels out wide. So now my toes are pointing forward. And then take a long deep breath in. Exhale, lower yourself down to the floor. Weights on the ground. Make a tabletop position through the spine. So lengthen out the spine. Imagine you're trying to balance something on top of your back. The eye gaze is slightly down. Shoulders pull back. And try and pull your chest forward to create that extension. You can stay here and breathe. Or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, with or without weights, take your arms out and hold. 10-second hold. Really reach. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Feel that spine working really hard. Engage those abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now sink it down and soften the spine and come into a forward fold. So take it into a nice stretch. Push the weight out into the outer edges of your feet. And pull your hips up to the sky, leaning slightly forward, lowering your head and chest down. Just 10-second hold here. Take one more deep breath. Heel toe in once, and then soften the spine, roll yourself up, roll the shoulders, and swivel around to face me, and you should be right leg forward, left leg back. Come up onto the ball of the foot of that toe back, square your hips off. Make sure your knee and ankle follow together so you're not protruding your knee inwards. Sometimes I turn my foot very slightly out because it naturally wants to go the other way. And we begin our lunge on the other leg. Exhale down, inhale up. We're going to go back to those side raises. So lateral raises, very slight frontal position, big wide V. Going. Keep those arms going. Whoop, bit wobbly. My very wobbly side. 5 more. Come on, put it down. Last 2. Get those shoulders working. 1 more. Now bring your arms around. Sink down into that lunge. Bend your arms, lift your elbows. So bicep curls, that's your position in front. Press through the legs. 10, 9, lift the elbows. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Now, step that back foot in so it's flat on the ground. Take a breath. Lean forward by bending that right knee and keep your spine beautifully straight. So what you don't want to see is a lean forward and you're curving down. Lengthen. Look down towards your toes. Weights in front of your kneecap. Let's go. Open out. 13. 12. Sink a little bit lower. 11. 10. 9. Come on. The further you lean, the more you're going to work those back muscles. The more higher up you are, you're going to get those shoulders. So let's get deep into those back muscles. Last 5. 4. Keep pressing that back leg into extension. Last 2. 1 big one. And then roll it up. And drop those weights forward to the floor. Lengthen out the front leg, lengthen out the back leg, and sink your head and chest down. Just breathe into it. Use your breath to relax the chest towards the thighs. Now, from here, we're going to bend the back knee. And you're going to slide your right knee to join your left. You're going to tuck your toes under at the back and you're going to sit into your heels. So just stretch those toes and the arches of your feet for a few moments. So I've really spread my toes wide. Not everyone likes it. If you don't do it. It's fine. So just lean back. A little bit deeper, stretch it back. Use your core to hold you here. And then we're going to pick up those weights again. So feel free to go heavier if you want. And then lift away from your heels. So very briefly, just slide your toes flat. Let them just rest. Take your weight in front of your chest, lift your elbows. So I'm going to tuck my toes under again. So this is your starting point. You're going to extend your arms up overhead, lean back into those heels, bend your elbows behind your head and use your abs to power yourself back up and your arms and bring your weights back down. So we lift, we bend as we move our bodies back, not too far, and then exhale, power back up, lower down. So from side view, we lift, we sink back, abs on, abs on, abs on, lengthen back up and drop down. So that's not for everybody. It involves a lot of core, back, buttocks, thighs are going to kick in. And if you use a heavy weight, you're going to really struggle. If you want to challenge yourself even more, front of the feet on the ground. And that just allows you to sink back a little bit more, right back into those heels, and then lift and power up. And that's a good thigh killer. Otherwise, stay on your knees and just lift, bend, extend, and drop. Whichever one you're doing, 5 more. So just then I did the same thing with my feet on the ground, front of the feet on the ground, and I just leant back a little bit, and then I used my core to pull myself back up. I actually quite like that one. Give that one a go. You lift, you sink back, abs on, back flat, squeeze the butt, raise, and drop down. 2 more. One more. Sink back, 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 back. And release your weights to the floor. So bring your weights underneath your shoulders and take a lovely arch of the spine. Tuck in the chin, tuck in the tailbone. And then lift your eye gaze, lift your bottom, pull your shoulders back and down. Do that again, curve. Okay, let's do some rotations with a nice stretch. I'm going to use my heavier weight for this. It's not for everybody using a heavy weight, okay? Stick with the light one. I'm going to take my knees slightly wider. My right hand is underneath my chest. My left hand has got hold of the weight. And we're going to draw the belly in tight and we're going to open the arm up, squeezing up, looking up, turning our bodies. So we're almost making 6 o'clock. But don't fully extend your elbows. Okay, always keep a very slight soft elbow. And then we bring it down controllably, feeding it through. So we open up. We reach through. And reach up. 4. Feed it under. So we're twisting twice here. 5. This is my little crunchy, horrible shoulder. It's making horrible noises. And up for 6. So we're going 10. Feed it, feed it, feed it, feed it. Don't touch the ground. 7. So my core is having to work a lot harder because my weight is heavier. 8. Come on, really turn, twist, reach. 9. Okay, we're going 1 more. And 10. And then this time we feed it all the way through. So lower your arm all the way down, leave your bum in the air, drop your ear to the floor if you can. And you might just want to stay here or encourage a little bit more stretch by holding onto the wrist and feeding the arm under. Oh, it's nasty. If you are tight like I am across your rib cage, your spine, your scapula, this will get it. So I'm kind of pulling my body away from my arm to get that deeper stretch. One more breath here, although I could stay here all day. If you're holding onto the wrist, release. Use your right hand to push yourself back. Feed yourself under. And then go back into that cat-cow. Eye gaze up, chin up, bottom up. And scooping in, pushing the floor away. Go again, lift up. We're going to drop down to our elbows. Now, I want you to take your forearms side by side. And I want you to have a weight. I'm going to just pick the light weight nearby. And you don't need to have a weight at all. If you follow my slow instructions, you should be able to do this very gracefully without any problems. You always have the option to drop your knees on the floor or a knee on the floor. Right, let's go. Let's take it into a plank. Okay. Get your plank stabilized and strong. Extend it out through the spine, shoulders relaxed. Now draw everything into the center of your abs in tight. We're going to rotate our feet. So all I've done is swiveled and now on the edges of my feet. I'm going to take my weight and reach up into the full side plank. Option here is to lower your right knee to the floor. So turn to the left. From here, you're going to lower your weight down towards your hip and then lift it up as you bring your arm up and over, or just keep it at shoulder height. Dropping down, lifting up. Now begin to feed that arm slightly behind the buttock and then lift back up. 4. We're going for 10. Lift, squeeze, get those hips higher. 5. 5. Up. 6. 7. The challenge is to keep it behind your buttock. 8. Come on, last 2. Do this without a weight if it's too much. One more. Big lift. And then circle it around, back to your full plank if you can without dropping your knees down. Settle yourself back in it, a 10-second breathe. Sweeping those abs in tight. We begin to pivot onto the other side. So turn your feet onto the edges. Weight or no weight, we lift up. Get as much height in that hip. Drop your left knee to the floor if you need to. And then our right arm is dropping down towards the hip and raising back up as we lift the hips higher. If you want, if you can, ideally behind the buttock and lifting up. That's 2. 3. Keep it slow, controlled, consistent. 4. 5. Up for 6. Squeeze it. And 7. 3 more. Last 2. Come on, get those hips up a little bit higher. Right through the underneath of your waistline. Last 1. Lift up. And then lower the weight, swivel it around, and then drop your knees down and walk your elbows into a child's pose, resting off. Maybe make a little pillow and let your hips just sink into your heels. Two more deep breaths here. Okay, so we need to do our rotations on that right arm. So hands and knees a little bit wider, feet towards each other. So I like to have my big toes touching here. And then I'm going to take my left hand under my chest, the weight in my right hand. So I'm going to do 4 again to balance it out. So this is my weaker arm moving, so it might be a bit more of a struggle. Okay, when you're ready, let's lift and reach the arm up to the sky. Just pause at that first one, get used to that position. And then we float it down, controllably feeding it under for 1. Up. Ooh. And 2. I feel my core working more this side because it's my weaker side. All the more reason to power through. Keep it going, breathe. Okay, I'm halfway there. 3, 6, 7. Come on, work it. 8. Last 2. Come on, big squeeze, lift up higher. Bigger feet under. One more big lift to the sky. And then as we feed it under, we reach it through, we lower the ear to the floor, bottom in the sky, and come into that rotational stretch. And if you wish, you can feed the arm under and just almost pull back away from that shoulder and feel your whole entire back of the spine and rib cage freeing itself. You really have to breathe into this. Two more breaths. Ooh. Need some water. Okay, hand down. Bring yourself up. Cat cow. Chin up, bottom up. Make it a soft one, not a strong one. Scooping the belly in, curving through the spine. Bring the knees under the hips whilst you're there. And then lift yourself up. Spin around and come sit on your bum. Ooh. Okay, just take a quick rest. So we've changed our position completely. Let the blood flow from your head. And then I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab the 4s here. So a little combo exercise, working the abs, working the core a little bit more. Legs out in front, you can soften them or you can keep them straight. I'm going to soften mine slightly because it takes the pressure off my hip flexors. Use your weights to push down by the sides of your hips and lift yourself tall. So just get a lovely strong spine. Then bring your arms forward, turn your palms up. You see where this is going, right? Bicep curls. Scooping the belly in, drop back halfway. And we're going to go into bicep curl. Tapping the floor down, lifting back in. So my abs are keeping me isolated here. As I bring my weights in, they want to push me further back, but my core is going to kind of grip in a little bit, which is why heavier weights is a good thing. 5, halfway, 6. And at any point, you can come all the way out of this and just do some bicep curls on a sitting position. 8, last 2, 9, last 1, 10. Now, drop your weights down to a half bicep curl. Rotate and open the arm back to center. Rotate, open the arm. Small move. So you turn, and then you laterally rotate from the shoulder. And because I've got my elbows squeezed into my waistline, it's not going to go far. But the rotation with that weight will work the core. Now I've lost count. 4, 3, it's not a big move. 2, one more. And 1, roll it up. Weights down by your hips. Rest in there and sit yourself up tall. Oh, such a nice feeling to go from that flexion to extension. Bring the weights to your chest. Sit tall. Scoot the belly in. And then roll yourself down to the floor. And as your ribcage starts to hit the floor, take your arms up in front of you. Engage those abs. Pull your arms gently behind. And then as you pull your arms back, lift your legs to the sky. Open your arms out, softening through the elbows. Flies. So we reach up. So you should have a much heavier weight now. If you're going to do a bigger muscle group, can work more. You don't have your legs in the air. You can drop your legs down to the floor. You can bend them if you like. If you want a little bit more, you can push them away to 45 degrees. But don't lose that technique in your chest. So making a half circle, bringing the weights above your chest, not your head. Got 4 more left. 3, 2, last 1, and 1. As I drop my weights out wide, I bend my knees to tabletop. We're going to take our legs over halfway towards that left side. And I want you to extend and bend both legs. Hamstring curl, leg extension, holding our bodies in this position. And if you want, both together. 8, 7, 6, 5. Push those shoulders down. Pull the toe towards that left arm. One more. And then bend the knees, put the knees down. Let's take it into a rotational stretch. Weight on that thigh. Twist into that right shoulder, opening out through the arm. 10-second breather here. Enjoying that stretch. But let's make it 20 seconds because it feels so good. And the longer we're here, the more beneficial it is. One more breath. Open the arm back out. Abs on. Lift those knees. Pop your feet down onto the ground. Take one more deep breath here. Lift those weights up above your shoulders, bringing them together. Lift your hips up into a bridge. We inhale, lower our bottom down as we take our weights overhead. So bending through the elbows and extending the hips and the arms together. So you're keeping your upper arm still and just bending. Skull crushers. Don't bash your head. Just lightly take the weights behind the head and then power the hips up. You can lift your heels if you want. 5 more. So this is quite a heavy weight for triceps, but it's good. I can feel them working. 4. Keep those knees slightly closer together. 3. Big buttock squeeze. 2 more. Last one. And then lower your bottom to the floor. The weights are staying where they are. Slide your legs out straight. Inhale, lift your chin to your chest. You can bring your weights to your chest if you want. Scooping the belly in. Roll it up. And I'm going to bend my knees at the top. Bring your weights down by your hips and lift them. Pull the shoulders back. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Take your palms up, arms forward. Scoot back into a half roll back. Elbows stay pinned. We do bicep curls. 10. 9. Fix your tummy on tight. 8. Squeeze your thighs together. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2 more. 2. And then we pause as we lower our arms halfway down, rotate, and then do a lateral rotation through the shoulders. And we don't do this on an everyday basis, so it doesn't really like to move, and it's not necessarily designed to move. Twist, open, center, twist, open, center. Pin the elbows. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it up. Sit yourself up, sit tall. Take a breath. Swing the arms to the shoulder, to the chest. Scoot the belly in, roll it down. And as I roll down, my legs begin to lengthen. My arms are coming up into this air. Taking my weight slightly overhead, so only about a 45-degree angle from above my shoulders. Lift the legs up as the weights come back up above your shoulders. Opening our arms up wide. Your option is to bend your knees or keep your feet on the ground. Or if you want to take it up a notch, you can extend one leg down, lifting up as the arms open, and then lifting the arms as the opposite leg goes down. Big half circles, working above the boob line, not the head line. And if you want a little bit more challenge for the last 5, see if you can lift into a crunch and my head and shoulders are off the floor. You can't see it because my legs are in the way. But I'm not quite letting my arms drop down to the ground. 3, 2, last 1. And then head down, arms down, press them out wide, bend the knees. We inhale, exhale, drop the knees over to the right. And we extend and bend the legs together, isolating through the core, holding our body in this position. Or if you want, both legs. 8, 7, pull the toes up towards that right hand. 6, 5, squeeze those abs. 3, 2, one more, one more, one more. And then bend the knees, drop them down, pop that weight on top of the thigh, and let's twist into that left shoulder, looking across, opening out. Knees up towards the right shoulder. And really embrace these moments of stretching. Two more breaths. We release the weight from that thigh, open the arm back out. Lift those knees back up into the middle, extending them up to the sky. We bring the weight up and above our shoulders, weight together. We're going to now do a leg extension with an arm, or the shoulder extension. So on my arms are dead straight, my legs dead straight, and then I'm reaching them back and doing a little crunch up to my toes. So my arms are dead straight, they're coming behind my head, my legs drop, and then we pull everything back up together and reach up. Now that's too much. Simply bend your knees, tap your toes to the floor, keep the arms dead straight and reach up. We'll lose a weight and do it there. So you don't have to take your arms all the way to the floor, but what I want you to do is keep your arms straight. So they might just go a few inches from that shoulder and then back in, or you might be dropping all the way back and lifting all the way up. It's totally down to how your body's feeling, whether your core strength is up for it, whether your back is up for it. It's quite difficult to keep the elbows straight. Keep it going. Don't bend the elbows because that's a different exercise. 2 more. Oh, I thought about my little crunch then. I cheated. Last one. All the way up. Lift up to the toes. And then keeping your arms where they are, bend your legs and feet on the ground. Okay, so we're going back into triceps with the bridge. We inhale, exhale, roll our hips up. As we lower our buttocks back down to the floor, we bend the elbows this time, brushing down the back of the head, and then raising everything up. Tricep extensions with hip presses. If you want, you can lift up onto your toes or stay on your feet. I'm going to stay on my feet this time, so it feels a bit more effective for me just doing it with the triceps, because my triceps are quite heavy. And lift, that's 5. We've got 5 more to go. Three more, come on, make this strong. Squeeze the butt cheeks, lift the hips a little bit higher. Last 2. Get those elbows dead still. Last one. Lift all the way up. And then gently bend the elbows. Roll out of your bridge. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees just rock side to side. Enjoy that moment of just allowing everything just to go, just to give up. And just come and find your center point. Let those knees just fall out. And if you want to go further, you can encourage them. Lift the heels towards you. Slide your hands down the shins, coming onto your ankles or around the outsides of your feet. And do a lying down butterfly. So ideally, try to pull the shoulders back to the floor as well as your coccyx. So you've still got an activation of the core, and then using the press of your hands, you can open those knees a little bit more. And I want you to stay with your knees wide. but take your feet above your knees. And can you take your hands, your arms, sorry, inside the knees, around the outsides of your shins, holding onto the outside edges of your feet, bending your knees and pushing your knees down towards the floor. So basically my heels are pushing to my knees are pushing to the ground. My legs are wide, they're sitting. So you want to have the ankle above that knee joint. It's very easy to be down here. And then try and push the spine back down into the floor, especially that coccyx. It might have lifted up as well as your head and the back of your shoulders. Take a few deep breaths, just settle into it. And then I want you to bend your heels back in. Can you grab hold of your big toes and then open out one leg to the side, straightening out through the hamstring, driving the toes up towards your shoulder. And the option is just to hold the leg here, okay? If you can't reach those toes, or grab a band and work on that. Wherever you go, try and pull the toes towards the shoulders so you're really lengthening out. So it's about, rather than letting the leg just drop down here, you're coming up high, rotating the hip a little bit more. Bend the knee and try the other side. So basically where my knee is bent, I've just opened the leg out in that direction. I'm using my arms to drive the toes closer in. And you can swap the legs over again, or if you wish, you can do two legs. Whether you're holding toes or legs, that's fine. Just take a big, long, deep stretch. Breathe into it. If you're doing one leg, swap it back over to the other one. 10 more second hold wherever you are. Extend away. One more breath. And then soften through the knees. Bring those knees back together. Pop your feet down onto the floor. Taking your right ankle over your left knee. Pick up your left thigh, catch it, and let's stretch the buttocks. Perhaps take a little bit more weight into the left one, opening that right knee out. Putting the chest towards the thigh, thigh towards the chest, but grounding down the backs of your shoulders. Release the thigh, switch over. Left ankle on right knee, lifting the right thigh, catch it. Stretching. Two more breaths. And then when you're ready, just slide that leg off. Hug your knees in, maybe just interlacing your fingers in front of the shins. Lift your head up towards your knees, put your shoulders away from your ears. And then keeping that hug in, lower your head back down. Slide your hands around the back of the thigh and roll yourself up to seated. And come and sit yourself into a comfortable cross-legged position. I think my arms have had enough for today. I think my abs have as well, actually. Just sit yourself. Take your left hand behind you, right hand on the left knee, sorry. Lift up and just take a little twist over that shoulder. Switch to the other side. Grow tall and then twist. You need to get outside. It's a beautiful day out there. And then come back to center. Open your arms. Take an inhale. We exhale. Lifting the arms up, interlacing the fingers. Stretch up. Bring your arms in front of your chest. Turn your hands around. Squeeze the fingers. Pull your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, open your palms. Lift up. Take a deep stretch up. And then bring your hands together. Bow down to yourself. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, week, or whatever.
Bye for now.